media figures, and I honestly don't even know if he would be pressed if they actually got him in a room and sat down with him. And wait till we get to the debates. I mean, assuming that all happens, Joe Biden and Donald Trump on stage in a way that you can't go and pick and choose how you're going to cover it. Then it's really going to see how this is all going to play out. And the media is not going to be able to really weigh in as much as they have been in the past.
No, they'll be against the debates. You watch. He's always welcome on this show, by the way. Well, we'd give him 2 blocks. Steve Cracker, great to see you tonight. Thanks so much.
Excuse me.
Thanks, Tucker. Appreciate it.
We've got news tonight, an update in the case of that horrifying beating of an innocent man last week in Portland, Oregon. We'll tell you the latest next.
At times like the
doctor will consider this when deciding on treatments and may prescribe another medication first or may instruct you to take a smaller dosage.
People actually go out of their way to make it seem like they're plotting on you.
Call 8557
like this whole prick outside, aren't they?
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. Thanks to your support, you've helped make MyPillow become one of the fastest growing companies in America.
Can't wait to go out tonight, man. Look at dogs here. Better go see it. There's one thing I do know. I
I must sleep almost immediately. I stay asleep at night and I wake up more well rested in the morning.
That's why I invented MyPillow. My patented fill adjusts to your exact individual needs and helps keep your neck supported and aligned.
No, but
I'm interrupting this commercial right now to give you deep discounts, not just on my pillows, but also my mattress topper sheets and so much more. For example, you can get body pillows regularly $89.99, only $29.99 with your promo code. With our 60-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to lose.
The best night's sleep in the whole wide world is mine.
I think I'd be mighty
If
fine.
you're suffering from muscle cramps or muscle spasms, you need to try TheraWorks Relief. I've never seen a product that works as well for muscle cramps and muscle spasms. TheraWorks Relief really does work.
Get TheraWorks Relief today. Available in stores everywhere.
Beautiful.
The RNC is on Fox News Channel. As the party comes together to support President Trump, our experts break down every critical moment. Fred and Martha anchor special coverage of Democracy 2020 convention kickoff.
Democracy 2020.
It's in your hands.
Last Sunday in Portland, Oregon, a man authorities have identified as 25-year-old Marquise Love brutally beat another man, Adam Hayner, during that city's never-ending riot. We showed you the tape the other night. We're going to show it to you again. It's real. It happened. The other networks don't want you to see it. Here it is.
Back up, back up, back up, bro. Sit down, sit down.
This morning, authorities in Portland took Marquise Love into custody. There was a manhunt for him. They finally got him. He faces felony assault and riot charges. Hayner, the victim, said he tried to help someone who was being mugged. He believes he was targeted by the mob because of his skin color. Now, this story is an awful story, but it's more than about just one beating. It's about punishing normal people for the crime of living their lives in peace, which most of them do. As long as there is suffering anywhere, the mob believes, there must be suffering everywhere. So watch as rioters terrorize local residents in Portland this week for flying American flags on their porches.
Right here is another example of white men feeling comfortable. I bet you've never had a struggle in your life. You're far from incarcerated for fighting.
Nothing better to do.
These are explicit racial attacks. Is explicit racial harassment. Would the country ever put up with this in any other context? No. But the Justice Department stands by, the local authorities stand by, our media stands by, Democratic politicians stand by, even Republicans.
They don't say anything.
What did the people sleeping in their homes do wrong exactly? Well, nothing. They never attacked anybody. They didn't even fight back against the people screaming.
They don't even cut off funds.
All they're doing is living in peace.
Wouldn't these people be like pushing homeless cars? I mean, even a homeless car pushing.
Do that if they don't like the
homeless is more harmless than
Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot wants you to know that rioting is good. She's totally for rioting. She's allowed it in her city for many weeks now. but you're not allowed to do it near where she lives. Watch.
I'm not going to make any excuses for the fact that given the threats that I have personally received, given the threats to my home and my family, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that they are protected. And I make no apologies whatsoever for that. And I have an obligation to keep my home, my wife, my 12-year-old, and my neighbors safe.
Well, to Lori Lightfoot, having a safe neighborhood is sort of like getting a haircut. No one is entitled to one except Lori Lightfoot. Meanwhile, scenes like this are playing out currently across your country.
I think this is all because of coronavirus.
So what do you do if you find yourself surrounded by a mob like that? It could easily happen. No one's going to help you. No one you voted for will move a finger. No one who says, oh, I care about you, really cares. You're going to have to defend yourself and your family. How do you do that? Jack Carr knows the answer. He's a New York Times bestselling author, former Navy SEAL. He's the author of The Terminal List, True Believer, and Savage Son, and we're happy to have him on tonight. Jack Carr, thanks so much for coming on. So we've been thinking about,
so much for having me.
Well, I'm glad you're here. We've been thinking about doing this segment for a long time, and until we saw a recent piece where we didn't know who would be the right person. You clearly are. What do you do if you find yourself, for example, driving with your kids surrounded by a mob of screaming people?
Well, there's a few things to unpack here, and that the first one is that Lori Lightfoot, of course, she's not the only politician that does this. There are politicians and senior level officials across the country that do the exact same thing. And it is the height of hypocrisy to have a taxpayer-funded 24/7 armed security for the same people that want to defund the police on one hand and take your guns on the other. And I say the height
this is more,
of hypocrisy because we're talking about the
no one wants to
talking about human life, your life, the lives of your family members. And we know that police, by their very nature, no matter their intentions, they're going to get there.
ETA security,
they respond to criminal activity. They're not standing next to you unless they happen to be on Lori Lightfoot's personal security detail.
They don't pay tax.
So now
they don't pay tax.
Yeah, you take this turn, and I started thinking about this. I've been thinking about it for a while. It's been my whole life.
That's it. You just haul up in your apartment. If you have a raid bill, you can buy yourself a shotgun.
This guy pulled out his truck, beaten to within an inch of his life.
As fast as you can load it, maybe they'll set an example.
Somewhere she takes the wrong turn. All of a sudden, she's surrounded by this mob. We have kids in the back of the car. We have a special needs child, as many people do. He's strapped into a seat in the back there. What is she supposed to do? So some of those basics are stay in the car, doors closed, locked doors, windows up.
And that's it.
But
even this is like a KGO spin on it, like oh, you get attacked by a mob.
Goes so far. The main thing is to avoid those right away. So
you don't want to say, oh, well, it says this to indict this, this theory.
Turning around.
Hey, you know what? Line them up and stuff like that. You know, we always fight one at a time. You know what I mean?
He said, if it doesn't look right, it's probably not. So trust
and this has gone on for months and months.
Pay attention to that sixth sense that has kept us alive.
The police officer is sworn to protect and stuff like that. He could easily put his car in reverse and ran over the.
Now, if you're surrounded by a violent mob like we saw in Virginia, a woman in her car, kids in the back, surrounded by a mob that's beating
with his hands tied behind his back. It's almost like the old rental manager that was here before. I said, well, if I hear any aggressive behavior from you, I said you're going to be removed and all this stuff. I said, well, what am I going to get jumped? You're telling me I'm going to get evicted? I'm going to get jumped? You defend myself and get evicted? This is what I said. This is what the police officers, I don't know if they're police officers, right? This is what they have to do. They got their hands tied behind their back to save, serve, protect. And when they get attacked, they have no choice but to retreat. When they easily have an armed car, throw it in reverse and do what it is they do. They have these outbursts of anger that's that. And it's like, oh, fuck this, dude. And then they rage, and then they run over a couple people, you know what I mean?
And right now,
what are you gonna do? I mean, there's like 50 people pounding on it, fucking smashing in your windows. What are you gonna do?
With experience,
you know what I mean? So, I mean, of course, he's not sitting in his car with his windows rolled up, having a cigarette, drinking coffee.
Law enforcement into the tactical training industry as well, as they leave their departments in droves. and who can.
And they say, oh, it's inhumane to send a military into something like that.
Law enforcement to be a great.
Why don't you just cut off the stipends to these people?
Search for these people.
Get the databases of the microchips that hold so much data on each and every citizen in the United States, and sever the ties, the financial ties, to have them push cards and be like, hey, you know what? Loathe in yourself and what you're so angry about. And stuff like that. And that's it. And with the people that are collecting cans, live on the street, because, like, you know, they have addiction or something like that, or just kind of like messed up on life or something like that. Why don't you give them a second chance to like a semi-charmed, semi-decent home and stuff like that? To where these people go back, have a bologna sandwich, like, yeah, we did that. You know, off of government money.
Basic right. It's the fundamental right.
And
Jack Carr, I knew you were the right man.
That's it. If you don't live in the United States and there's no law, then you know what? Then that is what you call it. One of the things that you take away as a factor of the United States.
Files are real.